Finally, hemp's been given a good limelight. So Lauchlan Grout, CEO of Hemp Farms Australia and Vice President of the Australian Hemp Council. So I'm here at the Hemp Connect Forum today. It began on Wednesday, so 2 days ago. It has been a very insightful forum. It's good to see a lot of familiar faces. It's good to see Senator Colbeck here as well, supporting the industry. Finally, hemp's been given a good limelight, and I think that's what it needs to get a good perspective from a national perspective. So Hemp Farms Australia is located in Queensland. Our office is situated in South Brisbane. A lot of our production is done in Gatton, between Brisbane and Toowoomba. A lot of our breeding is done up in northern Queensland near Bowen. And we grow tailor-specific varieties for specific end customers that we have. In terms of what we grow for, there's been a large focus or a primary focus on fibre production. So fast, vigorous growth fibre plants, stem widths no thicker than your thumb. That's more of a textile end market, whereas we have built varieties for a construction and building market, which is a more herd dominant variety. So really a higher ratio of herd yield compared to fibre, whereas the textile industry is chasing more of a yield of fibre components, contrary to herd. In terms of seed production, we only do seed multiplication for pretty much purpose-built contracts that we have for customers. If there is excessive seed required for food processing in Australia, we can accommodate for that, but it's not really our bread and butter. I mean, it does take a lot of selective breeding. We were quite fortunate that the inventory that we already had already possessed quite a few attributes that we're already chasing, such as vigorous growth, not too thick of a stem wall on the actual plant itself. So if you are starting from scratch from a variety that, say, is more so tailored towards grain production, it's obviously going to be a hard slog with selective breeding because your initial volume of lines that you're going to grow is going to be a much broader scope in terms of what you're looking for, because you started with a seed cultivar that is grain focused. We actually started with a fibre cultivar and then really pushed the lines in different settings throughout the year to figure out when was the optimal time for that production of that variety and did it meet the attributes that we were chasing, and that took about 2.5 to 3 years. Then it's a case of making sure that it grows in the actual location that your target customer is located in. So primarily for us, that's in the cotton belt of America. So flipping the seasons on themselves compared to here has been a bit of a challenge, but look, you've got to chase where the market's growing, and that's where we've put our focus on. So in terms of partnerships with universities or different research institutes in Australia, we work very closely with them, such as Southern Cross Uni, University of Sydney, Queensland, University of Queensland as well out of Gatton, Narrabri University as well with the ag science there. Not so much partnerships, but definitely research collaborations in terms of offering our varieties up for different trials that will actually benefit the industry for more knowledge-based growing. So it helps us because I don't want to sound like a capitalist, but they are doing research that we could have conducted ourselves. So it's better to have professionals that do that day in, day out in their specific environment that we don't focus on down in central New South Wales. That ticks those boxes, whereas it's really, I guess, a benefit for our business and it's a benefit to the industry. So yeah, collaborative opportunities with research institutions is very beneficial. But in terms of partnering with them, the waters can get muddy there, so we just like to stay at arm's length and collaborate as much as we can whilst not losing too much IP in the process before the industry is properly sailing. A collaborative approach is definitely the consensus right now. Well, definitely on the government side of things. So being on the council, pretty much you have to have a collaborative approach because you're wanting to set a standard and an industry image for not only government but policymakers, but also other industry associations. So reputation is key, sharing of knowledge is key to a point, and having, as you said, a collaborative approach with government and policymakers and other industry associations is the essence of building awareness, and building awareness builds scope, and building scope builds business. So that's what we're all here for.